everyone, welcome back to Shawn's Teenage Journal. I'm Shawn V. Martin, and it is close to the end of the year 2000. It is actually December 24th. I'm catching up to the current time right now in real life, 11 years later, which is really bizarre. I have mentioned already that I am now dating what will become my high school sweetheart relationship, and I haven't mentioned before now, but I feel like I should because it's coloring the way that I'm reading this, and I can't help it, and you don't know it yet. But I got engaged to this girl. I mentioned that we were dating until we were 22. We got engaged. Obviously, we didn't get married, or you might know who this person is, because it's not Alicia. I'm pointing as if she's over there. She's not home. We dated through high school. We dated through almost all of college. Then something tragic happened, and, well, we'll say that I did not break up with her. And then I met Alicia, and everything became awesome. But I just want you to know that it's going to sound like I'm super serious about this girl, which seems weird coming out of a 15-year-old's pen, but I was super serious about this girl and remained super serious about this girl for what remains the longest relationship of my life. It will be another 3 years until I have been with Alicia as long as I was with this girl, which is weird, and time is, of course, just a human construct, but it's still, you know, it's a major part of my life, and reading this is kind of weird for me. Cathartic? I'm not sure. Maybe. But it is definitely strange. Also, I'm noticing right now how white I look. I'm like the same color as this door. Okay, so December 24th, the year 2000. Well, it's been a good week. I have no doubt in my mind anymore. I don't know if I really did. I have no doubt in my mind anymore, excuse me, about Kathy not really liking me. It seems to me we have a much stronger relationship than most girlfriends and boyfriends at our age. And again, I'm going to remind you, I'm not exaggerating. I really think we did. My friends are finally being at least a little supportive of me and Kathy, although they're either angry or jealous of me spending so much time with her. And I remember it was relentless. My friends, who none of them were in relationships, and on both sides, guys and girls, just would tease us mercilessly about spending time together. And at this point, we hadn't even kissed yet. Like, it's not like we were just hanging out and making out all the time. Like, we were just hanging out. Like, the two of us, like the way I would have hung out with a best friend, except, like, we got to, like, snuggle close and hold hands. Like, there wasn't like hanky-panky going on. We were just hanging out, and we really liked each other, and we were very quickly becoming best friends. And I think a lot of my friends and her friends had problems with that, because we were crossing a boundary that had been set up, that the girls hang out with the girls and the guys hang out with the guys, and we were the youngest of the people around us who all of a sudden we were a guy hanging out with a girl all the time. And I have to change the name of it, but they constantly tease me specifically about Kathy time. Like, oh, what? Shawn can't hang out with us after school today. He's doing Kathy time. One word. Then I eventually owned that term. Like, I took it away from them and started using it as my away status on Instant Messenger. I was like, Kathy time. Ha! Deal with it. Okay. She did tell me when she got the... she told me when she got the pictures her mom took of us before the dance developed, that's a very strangely worded sentence, Shawn, that I looked very handsome. So I was all nervous about her not saying anything about the way I looked that night, but she said I looked very handsome. That made my day. To hear or read, because I'm sure it was Instant Messenger or email, a girl that hot tell me I looked handsome made me very happy. I've started working out more and stuff. What? I don't think I was working out. I may have been doing a little bit of free weightlifting, which I'm sure did me no good. Not ready to show off, but maybe to assure myself she won't be embarrassed when she's with me. I think exercising and weightlifting and that stuff is a lot about increasing your own self-confidence more so than like making the way that you look actually better. I think a lot of things is about training yourself to feel better about yourself. And I'm at the point now that I don't do that much exercise. My work is the place where I work. I end up doing a lot of heavy lifting and stuff, and my drumming is a pretty aerobic exercise, but I don't actually take time out of my schedule and go exercise. I don't go jogging. I don't go to the Y or anything. But I'm perfectly fine with this going on. I have like a little six-pack. I'll show you sometime. We've spent the past 2 weeks spending time with each other. We've spent the past spending whatever with each other every day. Tomorrow, Christmas, will be the first day in a long time that we don't get to see each other. Yesterday evening, I went over and we watched part of Dead Poets Society. You know, very, very romantic movie. And today she came over. Why didn't we watch the whole thing? Why did we only watch part of it? And today she came over and we played Slamwich and Cows Can't Dance, both of which are card games. See, here I'm informing my future self. Like, I realize that you won't know in the future what Cows Can't Dance is. It's a card game. Thank you, young Shawn. She walked over and I walked up to meet her on her street, which surprised her a bit. We lived like barely a mile apart from each other, and if you cut through yards and stuff, you could make it even shorter, which eventually we would do. After she got home, she signed my webpage and said I was a sweetheart. She signed my webpage. I don't even know what that could possibly mean. I might have had one of those websites that had a guest book or something. I don't think I had a... Did I have my Zanga at that point? I don't think so. Maybe. My work for her love has paid off. Paid off more than I ever could have asked for. Moving on. Whoa, I didn't know we were getting into this. I didn't mention this earlier. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll talk about this and we'll wrap it up. My grandma, my mom's mom, we call her GJ. It's short for Grandma Jean. I don't know if I mentioned that before. My mom's parents got divorced in the 70s, and shortly after she moved in with a woman who basically became my second grandmother. And her name's Reen. It was actually Dorothy, but she freaking hated that name. So if you called her Dottie, she would punch you in the arm. So she went by her middle name, which was Irene, and she just went by Reen. And everyone, she was, I'm talking about her in the past tense because she's dead. She was one of the coolest people in my life, ever. And this was the year that she had her first stroke. Stroke? I think? Mom? Dad? And she was put in the hospital, and I think she basically wanted to die. I think she thought that was it. And my family was able to convince her not to die. And I'm glad they did. So I'm writing here, I guess I'm updating even though I haven't mentioned her in this journal at all. Moving on, Reen is doing better. One day last week she was totally incoherent, but yesterday she was perfectly fine. Other than the loss of her leg, yes, she lost a leg. I hope everything turns out okay and as close to normal as it can be. Someday I'll get into the whole story of Reen and why she was the coolest lady. Yeah, I'm gonna cry right now. Okay, so moving on. I already got Christmas presents for 3 people. Kathy got me Santana's latest. Did I mention earlier that my teacher, Mr. Boyer, got me into Santana? Well, I'm asking for his CD for Christmas. So Santana's latest, Supernatural, the multi-Grammy winning Supernatural album. I've listened to it about 10 or 11 times. John got me a new pair of drumsticks because I broke all of mine. That's a continuing trend through my teenage years as well. They're really nice. Promark, and they're oak. Hopefully they'll last. What? Drumsticks do not last. See, this is what I've learned. I don't have one here, otherwise I'd go grab it. Buy a bag of drumsticks. Do not go to the wall of drumsticks, and pull out the pairs and buy a pair. Buy a bag of drumsticks. They're going to break. There is absolutely no point to buying expensive drumsticks. Just buy a bag. And Marissa, that was, oh boy, I didn't even get into the story of Marissa. Marissa and Kathy actually, like, okay, so Kathy broke up. I think one of the reasons that Kathy and John ended was because Marissa had started moving in on me. Like, Kathy and I were interested in each other in the summer. Then she started dating my friend. So Marissa was like, well, Kathy's with John. Now's my time. And she started making a move on me. And I was not interested in her at all. But she was the only girl who I knew who was interested in me. So I kind of like started warming up to the idea. And I think that was one of the things that made Kathy break up with John, because she was like, okay, I made a mistake. And I need to get Shawn before Marissa does. So Marissa was really kind of hurt by the whole... She was the one who suffered the most out of this whole, like, 4-way love box thing. And bless her, she apparently remained friends with me. She got me a pound bag of Skittles, which was my favorite candy, which I thought was very thoughtful. Wait, I wrote, she got me a pound bag of Skittles, which was very thoughtful, I thought. I don't think I'm paying attention to what I'm writing. I wasn't actually expecting a present from her, so that was a very welcome surprise, but now I feel like I have to get her something. The only friend I got anything for was Kathy. I got her Return of Saturn by No Doubt, which she liked. And I made her a CD of lots of my favorite songs. I made her a mixtape, because that's what you do. I learned from John Cusack in High Fidelity. All right, it is 10:30. I have to go to bed so Santa can come. Good night.